E-Maths class, Fatima Convent High School, myself, Dipali. Chapter 8, Quadrilaterals, Class 9. In the last session, we understood various properties and classification of quadrilaterals. In this session, we are going to understand these properties of quadrilateral in details. Properties of quadrilateral. Let us perform an activity for this. Cut a parallelogram from a sheet of paper and cut it along a diagonal. You obtain two triangles, isn't it? As you can see in the figure. What can you say about these triangles? Place one triangle over the other, turn one side if necessary. What do you observe? Observe that the two triangles are congruent to each other. We all are very much clear about the word congruent. Congruent means equal in shape and size. Repeat this activity with some more parallelogram. Each time you will observe that each diagonal divides parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So, we proved it with the help of an activity. Now let us prove whether it is true theoretically or not with the help of the theorem. Now the diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. Let us take a parallelogram ABCD and in the parallelogram AC is the diagonal. Observe that diagonal AC divides parallelogram ABCD into two triangles, namely triangle ABC and triangle CDA. We need to prove that these triangles are congruent. So, in triangle ABC and triangle A, D and C, we have the two sides, that is BC and AD are parallel to each other and AC behaves as a transversal. Now, if you work according to the theorem of chapter 6, then we know that the angles formed along the parallel sides are alternate angles on the opposite side of the transversal and they are always equal. So angle BCA, this angle, and angle DAC, this angle, which is forming a Z, are alternate angles and so they are equal. Also AB is also parallel to CD and AC is the transversal. So triangle BAC and triangle DCA, that is, this is also a Z, that is an alternate angle again. Now CA is common to CA. So by ASA congruency, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Or diagonal AC divides parallelogram ABC into two congruent triangles, triangle ABC and triangle CDA. Now measure the opposite sides of the parallelogram ABCD. What do you observe? They are also equal. So there is another property for it, that is, in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. We have already proved that the diagonal divides the congruent parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So you can say that the corresponding parts, say the corresponding sides, are equal by CPCT. As you can observe here, we already proved these two triangles congruent. Now if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA, then rest all the parts of the triangle are also congruent. And we know AD and BC are the sides of the congruent triangle, so they would be equal. Similarly, AB and CD are the sides of the triangle. They also would be equal according to CPCT. So, hence, this is automatically proved that let side AB and CD. It is automatically proved that in the parallelogram, the opposite sides are congruent. Now, what is the converse of this result? You already know that whatever is given in the theorem, the same is to be proved in converse, and whatever is proved in the theorem is to be given as converse. Theorem 8.2 states that if a quadrilateral in a parallelogram with each side of its opposite side is equal, then so is the converse. Means, if each side pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. Can we prove this? Yes. Now again, we are taking side AB and CD of a quadrilateral ABCD to be equal, and also AD is equal to BC. Draw a diagonal AC. Now clearly, we know that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. Why? According to theorem 8.1, that a diagonal divides the triangle into quadrilateral into two equal congruent triangles. If these two triangles are congruent, obviously the angles BAC and angle DCA are also congruent. Same way, angle BCA and angle ADAC, these two are congruent. So can you now say that ABCD is a parallelogram? Yes, because its opposite sides are parallel, as these are alternate angles, and if alternate angles are equal, the lines corresponding to these alternate angles are parallel. So both these angles are equal, proving that the two lines are opposite and parallel to each other, which proves them as a parallelogram. So you just see that in a parallelogram, each pair of opposite side is equal, and conversely, if each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. Can we conclude the same result for the pair of opposite angles? Now that is your next property. So we understood three important properties, that is, a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent angles. The parallelogram opposite sides are equal, and each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. These are all theorems, and there is a method to write the theorem with proof. Let us see that. For writing any theorem with proof, this should be the format. For writing a theorem, you will have first the statement, then you will have what is given to you, then to prove, then the diagram or the figure, and then the proof. This is how you write the theorem of any given concept. So, will you be able to write these theorems? Here, you can see what is given to you, what is to be proved, and what is to be the proof of the given theorem, as seen here. This is in triangle ABC and CDA, BC is parallel and AC is transversal. So you can note down whatever is the statement for given and whatever is the statement for true proof. And remember the properties. In the next session, we will be understanding three more properties of parallelogram. Thank you.